Fortnite will secretly update outfits, but did you know this skin has over 90 different changes? From a lawsuit that almost removed this, to something you probably own, here is 30 skins that were changed. At number 50, you would think it's Jonesy. Most players consider him the face of the game, but it's his counterpart Ramirez that has taken pretty much all of the hits. If you look back all the way to 2014, we have the very first version, the pre-alpha concept. There has been so many adjustments to get to 2025, and now here's her today. So if Fortnite did this to one of their very first skins, it's no surprise they would do it to their most popular. The one outfit that literally everyone wanted in 2018 was Skull Trooper. Owning this meant flexing on all of your friends. But then Fortnite suddenly brought him back and changed the original. If you were an OG, you now had this exclusive eye glow. And while most people know this story, there was one problem that caused players to ask for a refund. All of the people who originally owned this outfit had it changed without their consent, and players were furious. It took 3 entire years for Epic Games to respond, where they finally turned the OG eye glow into an edit style. Now sometimes it's not just the outfits that are changed, but rather your ability to use skins. Did you know, for most of Fortnite's lifespan, you can simply not equip a skin and be given a default at random? Well, all that changed 3 months ago. With the launch of Chapter 6, you can now select any default skin you want, and it took 8 years for this to happen. Another change that'll surprise you is with Peely. At the start of Chapter 5, fans went into their locker and noticed something strange. Peely had a brand new icon showing us he was missing, and this was the first time Epic has ever changed our lockers for the storyline. Recently, Fortnite's been getting more and more comfortable dropping surveys to players, and these usually include a ton of upcoming outfits. Well, last year, one of these skins got a lot of attention when fans noticed it was an unreleased Raptor outfit, the same character who was never released from years ago. The most talked about part of him was wearing music reactive clothes. Except, if you wanted to see this in game, you'd have to wait a full year to get our hands on the Raptor Royale pack. After all that waiting, Epic secretly deleted the reactivity, which still isn't fixed, unlike the Darth Vader skin. When Samurai Darth Vader graced the item shop, it was amazing. But one thing was missing that left us scratching our heads. When you did the Imperial March with him, Fortnite treated him like any other skin. Obviously, that's not how it's meant to sound. So, a couple weeks later, he was updated with the exclusive breathing version. And speaking of emotes, there's one that literally everyone knows about. That's Waterworks. Well, what if I told you it didn't originally sound like this? Right before it was released, it was supposed to sound like this. I gotta say, this version is 10 times more toxic. One of the best things Fortnite's done is rewarding you for having original Battle Pass skins. Despite the fact that no one earns these anymore, Epic still updates outfits years later, like giving us a secret edit style for Lynx, where you could take off her tail. Did you know you could also remove Elite Agent's helmet, and this is what it looks like? Better yet, the astronaut skins even got a secret version with their visor open, and now we have a face reveal for really old outfits. When Fortnite was still experimenting with bringing anime collabs to the game, they needed a way to make them look as authentic as possible. So what was the solution? It's cell shading. It first appeared with the Pandora POI, and then they had to bring this to outfits. The response to the early skins wasn't great. Something had to be done because they kinda just looked off. So after a couple of years of figuring it out, we're now in 2025 where cell shaded outfits have much thinner lines. Can you spot the difference? A lot of players are torn of whether they like this change or not, so let me know in the comments. You probably had no idea that skins like Oscar used to be completely different. When he dropped in Fortnite, he was a menacing looking tiger with the suit. But let's go back to the concept art, which originally showed Oscar with battle armor, ear piercings, and huge gloves. Then for characters like Aubrey, her concept included a t-shirt with Japanese text on it, and when she came to the game, she was identical to the art. Oh, but except for one thing, now her set was entirely themed around hot dog dynamite. What about the time that Fortnite created a tradition only to destroy it? Well, ever since Chapter 2, we've had the most exclusive pickaxe of all time, the Axe of Champions. This could only be held by one team at a time, the current winner of the FNCS. Then, a year later, they updated it to the Axe of Champions 2.0, which is a design they stuck with for years. This version instantly became iconic as it passed from one winner to the next. Then, after all of this time, this 2.0 version was thrown into the item shop. It removed all of the mysterious nature behind this in an instant. But little did we know that Fortnite was going with yet another secret design, the Blade of Champions. Who knows, we'll probably see this up for sale in a few years. Some changes are so hidden you probably never noticed. Like when Kicks released, everyone was so distracted by the fact you could put Jordans on Goku, they didn't stop to think, hey, some of these skins are wearing 2 pairs of shoes. It was kind of an oversight, so Fortnite came up with the solution. A couple months later, they secretly updated Kicks to work effortlessly with outfits, and to make up for the height differences, they even added socks to your characters. Maybe the avatar should have put on socks so he didn't notice a huge problem with his collab. You see, in the show, he gets struck by lightning, and it leaves a huge scar on his back and foot. Epic is so good about remembering this, because if you look at his spine in game, you'll see the scar. Except when you check, you would notice it was totally absent from his foot. It is such a minor detail, you would never expect Epic to care about it, but a lot of people pointed it out, and they checked back a week later, wouldn't you know it, it was actually added. If you've been playing Fortnite for a long time, you'll know that the icon in your locker never actually shows what the skin will look like once you equip it. A ton of us have decked out our cosmetics with edit styles and custom colors, but the locker icon always remains the same. Actually, that's not true. You have to be Gummy Fish Stick for this to change. He's one of the only cosmetics in the entire game that does this, but changing his upper body will also affect his appearance in your locker. I mean, how cool is that? Let's talk about one of the most drastic changes the Battle Pass has ever seen. For Chapter 5 Season 3, Epic introduced us to Ringmaster Scar, a skilled driver who ruled the wasteland. Did you know she was originally going to look very different? Instead of a mohawk and spiky leather clothes, Scar was going to wear a silver hyena helmet and a totally different outfit. So why did they change this to an edit style? Well, it protects her head while driving, and it actually makes sense. I will say that Fortnite did not want to change this next outfit. The Paradigm was revealed in Chapter 1 as a limited time only release. In fact, she is still one of the only item shop skins to be exclusive aside from tournament items. Despite this, with no warning, the item shop updated in August 2024 with the Paradigm. It was a total accident, and after just 1 hour, she was gone. At first, Fortnite said they would remove it from the accounts of anyone who purchased it, and then they thought, wait, people might have bought V-Bucks just for this, so we'll let them keep it. Instead, their solution was to quickly make an exclusive color just for the original owners, and eventually we got the Reality Warrior style. Now, a ton of these changes to cosmetics over the years has all been because of one problem: Fortnite's age rating. It turns out when they collab with LEGO, they had to lower the game from teen to a much younger audience. So, to do this, they had to redesign thousands of outfits to be family friendly, and one of those is Veronica. On the surface, nothing about her seems wrong, but in the LEGO update, they had to rename her shirt from Dead Game to Best Game. One change that needs to happen right now includes Joss. She's a fan favorite skin this season, but you literally can't even use her while holding a sniper. Yeah, for whatever reason, her texture just gets completely deleted, so you already know Epic is secretly working to fix it. What about when they change cosmetics in real life? Recently, we got another batch of Adidas shoes, and these ones were all based on Fortnite skins, like the Ultra Boost Victory Crown, Battle Bus, even Fish Stick. Unlike the previous kicks, these ones don't take the shoes from real life, but the reverse, putting these Fortnite designs on the shelves from the game. But here's the thing, you'll notice they all look identical except for one. Take Peely's for example. Inside is the sneaker you could find in the item shop, but these have a banana peel that goes on top and turns them into full Fortnite shoes. In game, they don't have that option, so it feels like Fortnite downgraded their own crossover. But hey, at least they upgraded other cosmetics like instruments. If you aren't a festival player, you probably don't pay attention to these things, and Fortnite noticed that. So they decided to up the ante. On a random day, fans logged in and noticed that all of their instruments just became free back blings and pickaxes. Not only that, they even made it work the other way around, so if you didn't buy any instruments, your pickaxes just turn into them for free. I mean, what other game does that? Now, it didn't used to be this way. Fortnite sometimes makes controversial decisions with their pickaxes, like when Stormbreaker released. For some reason, they wanted this to feel truly authentic to the MCU, so they banned us from using it with certain skins. In order to equip it, you had to be wearing the Thor outfits, which I will say is confusing because people like Fishstick were literally holding it in the trailer. It became a massive topic in the community, and fans were rightfully complaining about it, mostly the fact it didn't even follow the MCU's own rules. So, Fortnite listened, unlocking Stormbreaker for everybody 1 week later. Now let's quickly head back to the LEGO update because as I mentioned earlier, this age rating problem caused thousands of skins to be secretly changed, but some of them had hilarious censorship. Let's take a look at Splode. I guess for some reason you're not allowed cartoon bombs, so they changed his entire character into an 8-ball. Like literally it's a whole new skin. What about the actual 8-ball outfit? Well, they changed him too, turning his gun into a spatula and his knife into a fork and spoon. Bandolier is named after the bandolier on his skin, yet not even this was safe from the LEGO update, turning it into paintbrushes instead. Also, if we look at John Llama and Cobalt, we're given candy canes and, well, fish. The weirdest change of all is that demons aren't allowed to be red. That's right, characters like Malice are straight up purple for some reason. It's like they're related to Thanos or something, and even he got his very own secret change. The Snap emote was literally just your average item shop cosmetic, existing long before the Avengers crossover. But 6 months into its life, Fortnite changed it to a Marvel series emote, and the description was replaced with "balance is restored." Out of nowhere, this generic finger snap was now a collab. As for celebrities, Juice WRLD was a nice surprise during the remix season, and he even got his very own Lucid Dreams emote. Although this instantly became controversial among fans because everything was wrong. The emote didn't play the chorus of Lucid Dreams, and Juice WRLD's dance was from a different song entirely. While they could have fixed the dance, they did decide to swap out the audio. So, the emote was deleted from the item shop for 2 whole weeks, and when it returned, it finally played the chorus. I still see your shadows in my room. At least it was only gone for 2 weeks, unlike an entire range of cosmetics that Fortnite has completely forgotten about. We've been getting some weird items lately, from kicks to full-on cars, but it has been years since we got to unlock pets. These are fully animated backblings that follow you around, and teammates could even pet them. Yet, after the Child and Choppy release in Chapter 2, Fortnite abandoned the idea of pets entirely. And that's not all, we also had a different type of emote called toys. These usually appeared in Chapter 1 battle passes, letting us play our favorite sports, whether it was basketball, golf, even doing a bottle flip. At the time, these were easily the most popular emotes in the whole game, but for some reason, Fortnite just doesn't make them anymore. And to further prove they have been abandoned, every new map used to support things like shooting hoops, and now, in Chapter 6, toys no longer work on the island. Back in 2022, fans were treated to the Crossmark Operative Pack, a $16 bundle that included Save the World and the Nia skin. But what if I told you she wasn't going to be in this pack at all? In fact, this backbling originally didn't even belong to Nia. This survey skin of a woman with dual pistols was the intended bundle, and as you can see from the backbling, it was repurposed into the one we all know and love today. It has now been 3 years since this bundle dropped, and the survey skin is nowhere to be found, so it looks like she is trapped in Fortnite's vault forever. Now let's talk about a cosmetic that was banned for copying Overwatch. And surprisingly, it is not the skin everybody calls Mercy. Instead, it's a simple spray of a hamster. All of this was first revealed by leakers in the files, who showed this upcoming cosmetic to the community. Everyone saw it and went, wait a second, this looks just like the hamster spray from Overwatch. And if you put it side by side, it was more than just inspiration. Someone actually traced it. Epic went on red alert after discovering this and delayed the spray's release, causing us to wait entire months before getting an update. Then it came, a surprise patch with just one change, the new hamster cabbie spray with a fresh redesign. Although I think one of the most important updates to Fortnite's cosmetics was the item shop itself. Epic secretly made this available for everyone without even logging into the game, letting you make sure you never miss out on a limited time item, especially if you're not home. So the next time you visit the site to buy something, maybe consider supporting us with code T5G. It really does help a lot. Now, I couldn't make this video without mentioning the funniest hidden change of all. In 2023, Fishstick got his very own music pack and emote, but when it first released, everyone was shocked by an R-rated line. Clearly, it wasn't intended to sound sus, but it was too late, so they had to change it, and with the next update came the hidden censorship. Let me know how many of these skins you own. It's been Tommy, and keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.